If you clicked on this video, then you already know that sugar cookies are one of the most wonderful gifts that you can make for your family and friends. Out of all the desserts, I would say this is the one that I am most excited to share with you guys. My name is Gema, and on my channel, I bake and craft everything on my dessert tables. So if you love dessert tables as much as I do, then subscribe to my channel and hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time I post another video. Now, let's get into my kitchen and start baking. I have been baking these cookies for over 10 years now, and let me tell you, I never get bored of making them. And I know that they're going to be a big hit at your next family party. So our batter is done. That didn't take long. I didn't over mix it in the mixer because now we're going to start kneading it by hand on this surface here, and you want to make sure that it's a clean flat surface that you're working on. So I'm just going to put a little bit of flour here, and we're going to start kneading it. Right now the cookie dough is quite soft, so we're not ready to start cutting into it. A lot of cookie recipes, they ask you to chill the dough right now and then roll it out and cut into it, but I actually prefer to chill it, roll it out first, chill it, and then cut into it. If your dough starts to get really sticky on your hands and your surface, you can put a little bit of flour while you're kneading it. And this doesn't take too long actually. To knead it until it has a smooth surface, and it already has a smooth surface actually. So we're ready to start rolling this dough. So it should look like this. It's nice and smooth. I really like using silicone mats when I'm rolling out my dough, and these silicone mats are very easy to find. You can find them at almost any grocery store. So I'm just going to dust my silicone mat just a little bit with flour, and then I'm going to bring my cookie dough to the center. I'm just going to pat it down just a little bit. I'm going to dust it a little bit with flour again. I'm going to dust my rolling pin as well. And you're going to start kneading this dough gradually and evenly. You're going to start from the center and push outwards. That way you are gradually rolling it out. And you don't get like a thin area and a thick area. If you roll it out too quickly and if you're putting too much pressure, you will see cracks in your cookie dough. So you just want to make sure to start from the center, don't put too much pressure, and just roll outwards. If it starts to get a little bit sticky, then you can just put a little bit of flour on the top and a little bit of flour on the on the rolling pin as well. You want to roll this out to approximately 1/8 of an inch. Okay, so my cookie dough is nicely rolled. Now I'm going to stick it into the freezer for approximately 1 hour so it's nicely chilled, and then we're going to be able to cut into it. In order to get those perfectly cut sugar cookies that are all going to be the exact same size, you want to have a really well chilled dough. One thing that I wanted to mention, that this recipe does yield approximately 20 cookies, but of course that depends on the size of your cookie cutters. While the cookies are chilling in the freezer, we're going to start making the roll icing. And I want to make sure that you guys are able to make my cookies at home just the same way that I am. So please leave a comment in the comment section if you need any help with my recipe, and I will be more than happy to answer your questions. To decorate our delicious cookies, we need royal icing. And royal icing consists of confectioner's sugar, egg white or egg white substitute, and liquids. And you can choose from a few things. I like to do a 50-50 ratio of water and milk. I do like to add freshly squeezed lemon juice and vanilla, and of course you can add additional flavors as well. You do want to add egg whites. You have two options. You can use real egg whites, but it's a little bit trickier because you have to make sure that it's safe and edible to eat. The easiest way is just to use Wilton's meringue powder, and this is an egg white substitute, and you can find this at your Walmart or Michael's, or even your grocery stores might have them. And pretty much what this is going to do is this is going to give stability to your royal icing, and it's going to allow your royal icing to dry quicker, and it'll make it easier to decorate different layers and different colors in your cookies. There are a lot of recipes for royal icing out there, and the reason why is because everybody likes their consistency differently. I'm going to be making a consistency that I find easy for me to decorate with, and my kids seem to like it too. Of course, you might want to change it to your preference. If you find this royal icing to be a little bit too thick, and you're putting too much pressure when you're decorating because the icing is too thick, you will remove all of the icing back into a bowl and add tiny drops of water at a time to make it a little bit more of a thinner consistency. If you wanted it to be a little bit thicker, you can add a tablespoon at a time of confectioner's sugar. A little goes a long way, so just add a little at a time until you get to the consistency that you like. So I have 1 kilogram of confectioner's sugar, and I'm going to just sift. So it's sifted. Now I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of meringue powder. Going to mix this up a little. I think I'm going to add 3 tablespoons of milk and 3 tablespoons of water to begin with. I know that I like to add 1 tablespoon of lemon to begin with. And I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of vanilla. Now I'm going to let this mix really well for 2 minutes, and then I'm going to taste it and see if I want to add more vanilla, if I want to add more lemon, if I need to add more water or milk. So I'm going to start mixing it first. As you can see, the consistency is very thick still, so we need a lot more liquid. So I'm going to add 1 more tablespoon of water, 1 more tablespoon of milk. I'm going to add the 2nd tablespoon of lemon juice, and we're going to start mixing it and see how that goes. I'm just going to show you the consistency here. This is still way too thick. So what we want to do right now is we want to taste it and then see what we want to add. So I'm gonna add a little bit more lemon. I love the flavor of lemon in my royal icing, so I'm gonna add a little bit more. And I'm actually gonna add 1 more tablespoon of water. And let's see how that goes. I like the consistency. I'm gonna taste it one more time. Oh yeah, that tastes so good. You can taste the lemon and it's very lemony. I love it. Okay, so I really like the consistency. I really like the flavor. So now I'm gonna let this sit at medium speed for 3 minutes. If you notice, I'm creating these ribbons and it is staying, like you could actually see the ribbon staying just a little bit, but then it eventually goes away. You want to be able to see that ribbon stay for a little bit before it disappears, and that means that it's not too runny. Okay, I like the consistency. Now it's really important that you store your icing in a well-sealed container. Right now you can actually see it already. It's starting to have bubbles, and we want all of those air bubbles to come up to the surface. So we're going to let our royal icing sit for a few hours before we can color the icing and start decorating our cookies. So I wet 2 layers of paper towel so they're clean and wet, and I'm just going to cover the container, and then I'm going to seal it. I'm going to let this sit for 2 hours and allow all the air bubbles to come to the surface. Then we can start using our royal icing to decorate our cookies. So I've taken the cookie dough out of the freezer, and as you can see, it's quite stiff, like I can hold it. I'm going to flip it over. I'm going to dust the bottom part. And I'm going to start cutting into it right away, right now that the dough is chilled. I can put a little bit of flour on top as well. And I'm going to get my cookie cutters. Sometimes it helps to put, to flour your cookie cutters as well. And you can start cutting into it right away, right now that the dough is nicely chilled. If you find that your cookie dough is a little bit too hard to press into, just let it sit there for 1 minute and no more, and it will soften up enough. Using the same silicone mat that we used before, we're going to use it for baking as well. And we're just going to place our cookies half an inch away from each other. Can you guess what kind of cookies I'm making? So my sugar cookies are ready to bake. I'm going to pop them back into the freezer. I'm going to preheat my oven. Once my oven is preheated, I'm going to put them into the oven and bake them at 350 degrees for approximately 12 minutes. My sugar cookies are done baking, and I baked them for approximately 13.5 minutes. After the 12-minute mark, you want to turn on your oven. You want to make sure you're checking it every minute and a half, and take them out when they are ready, when they are brown the way you want them. You want to transfer them directly to a cooling rack, let them cool, and then they're going to be ready for decorating. I'm really excited about decorating these sugar cookies because I know they're going to make such a beautiful difference on my dessert table. I love seeing my cookie pictures on popular wedding and party blogs, and I just know that they're going to add that beautiful element to incorporate the entire theme to my dessert table. And I am going to be doing a video on how to decorate the cookies, so you can look forward to that as well. So now that you have my sugar cookie and my royal icing recipe, you can start making these delicious cookies. And let me tell you, the reason why sugar cookies are so special is because they are so fun to make and even more fun to decorate with your loved ones. I hope you enjoyed this video, and if you did, don't forget to like my video, subscribe to my channel, and hit the bell notification so you get notified every single time I post another video. Up next, I'm so excited to be sharing my next dessert table with you guys. The theme is mermaids. If you'd like to see my full portfolio, you can go on Instagram, Gema's Dessert Tables. Up next, don't miss this video. I'm setting up a beautiful Pegasus dessert table. Until next time, guys, happy baking and crafting. Bye.